Madayang nga adlaw, mabuhay at magandang araw, Davao Region. Hatid ng Presidential Communications Office, ito po ang kapihan sa Bagong Pilipinas kung saan tinatampok ang mga nagawa at mga napagtagumpayan ng mga ahensya ng gobyerno sa administrasyon ni Presidente Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. Ako po ang inyong lingkod, Rudolph Ian Alaman ng Philippine Information Agency Region 11 at makakasama niyo kami tuwing Martes na alas 9 ng umaga dito sa NCCCVP at live stream po tayo sa ating mga online platforms sa Philippine Information Agency Davao Region Facebook page at PIA Davao Region YouTube channel. Kahit bago ang lahat, i-follow at subscribe na ang aming social media pages at i-like and share ang live stream na ito. Ngayong ika-23 episode ng Kapihan sa Bagong Pilipinas na sabay-sabay na isinasagawa sa buong bansa ay tampok natin ang Commission on Elections o COMELEC. Alam ko naramdaman ninyo na hindi lang ang lamig ng hangin sa Pasko, kundi maging ang init ng nalalapit na midterm national and local elections na gaganapin sa May 12, 2025. At syempre, ang COMELEC ang punong abala para tiyakin ang isang makabagong halalan para sa mga makabagong Pilipino. Ating alamin at tunghayan ngayon kung ano na ba ang mga ginawang preparasyon ng komisyon para maging matiwasay at malaya ang magiging halalan. At gayon man, mabipang na pagtagumpayan ang ahensya. Upang ibahagi ang mga detalye at pagpapaliwanag sa mga nakamit ng komisyon sa ilalim ng Bagong Pilipinas, dito sa ating makakasama natin si COMELEC 11 Regional Director Attorney Michael C. Abbas. Magandang umaga, Attorney Michael.
Good morning, Rodolph. At good morning sa ating mga televiewers.
At kasama din ni RD Michael, no? Ang Assistant Regional Director ng COMELEC 11, suki natin ito sa mga media press cons, no, sa kapihan, si Attorney Gay Enumerables. Magandang umaga, Attorney Gay.
Yes, good morning. Good morning everyone. Good morning sa mga nagatutok karong buntaga aning programa.
Attorney Gay, maaari na pong umpisahan ang ulat ng COMELEC 11.
Okay, again, good morning everyone. Una sa lahat, pinapaabot po namin ang aming pasasalamat sa PIA 11 sa pangunguna ni Director Rene na ngayon ay nasa Mati, I think, doing equally important function. So, we are here to present some of our accomplishments over the past few months in preparation for the May 12, 2025 midterm elections. Firstly, Rodolph, it is with great pride that we share our ongoing efforts and commitment to ensuring secure, orderly, and peaceful elections next year. Gaya ng nabanggit mo kanina, yung simoy ng parating na Pasko ay malamig, pero sa kabila nun ay nararamdaman naman natin yung init na pagpa-prepare hindi lang ng Commission on Elections at lalo na po yung ating mga kandidato. Isa po sa ating inisyatiba, Rodolph, is yung inclusivity and accessibility. Unang-una po yan upang mapagbigyan po natin ng pagkakataon ang lahat ng mga stakeholders na makapagparehistro at tuluyang makapag-participate ngayong darating na election. Natapos po namin ito noong September 30, I think, at naging maayos naman po. Pangalawa, nagkaroon po tayo ng filing of COC. Sa kaalaman ng lahat, Region 11 po ang tinutukan. Particular, ang tinutukan noong panahon na yon. Dahil meron pong balita-balita na merong aatras sa kanyang pagkakandidatura sa lokal at tatakbo for national elections. At yun po ay hindi nangyari. Alam po namin sa COMELEC, Rodolph, na marami pa ho kaming dapat gawin at ito pong pagkakataon na ito ay isang napakalaking tulong para sa amin upang maisiwalat natin sa ating mga kababayan na ang COMELEC po ay hindi lang po nasa opisina, kundi nasa lahat ng parte ng lugar dito sa Region 11 in particular. So, last September, we went to Korea to inspect personally the manufacture of automated counting machines to be used in the forthcoming 2025 midterm elections. And as we know it in the news, nauna po sila sa deadline na ibinigay ng commission. So, as early as November this year, lahat po ay makukumpleto na instead na December this year. Okay? And in the coming days, dito po kailangan namin ng inyong tulong, Rodolph. We will begin extensive machine demonstrations in all barangays, municipalities, cities, and provinces within Region 11. Maybe I could direct all my provincial election supervisors to coordinate with their counterpart provincial directors of PIA. Our goal is to educate as many voters as possible on the correct use of the new automated counting machine and the voting process. Ito po'y paraan upang mawala sa agam-agam ng bawat isa na ang eleksyon ay maaring luto na, tapos na, mali po sila doon. Dahil itong bagong sistema ng ating automated counting machine ay isang upgrade sa mga dating makina na nagamit natin noong 2010 hanggang 2022 elections. So ito pong inisyatiba na ito ay nagpapatunay ng aming unwavering commitment to serving the public and upholding the integrity of our electoral system. As we move forward, we are dedicated to continuously improving our efforts to ensure that the election is transparent, accessible, and exclusive for all Filipinos. At sa aming pagkakaalam sa COMELEC, matutupad po namin ito ng mas maayos kung ang ating pong kasama sa media ay laging nasa atin, particularly ang Philippine Information Agency sa pangunguna ni Secretary Cesar Chavez na lagi nating napapanood noon sa DCRH. At closing, maraming salamat, Rodolph, and we look forward to the successful conduct of the elections on May 12, 2025.
Maraming salamat, RD. May dagdag po si ARD sa presentation.
Yes. Actually, yung sinabi ni Sir lahat, recap na yon sa presentation namin for this morning. Okay? Can we have the presentation, please? Yeah. Activities and updates for the May 12, 2025 national and local elections. Okay. Ang highlights yung topic highlights natin is of course yung voters registration, of which natapos last September 30, and then the filing of COC last October 1 to 8, and also siningit namin dito yung social media guidelines for candidates kasi very very important ito to remind the candidates to register their social media accounts with COMELEC. And of course, the reminders, the special dates for the coming midterm elections. Okay, we go now to the resumption of voters registration, which happened last Feb 12 until September 30. So mahaba-haba yon, 7 months yon. And ito yung data ng COMELEC na yung total number of applications processed. Umabot tayo ng 411,288 879 applications. Kasali na doon yung registration, transfer, reactivation, at saka yung correction of entries sa voters registration nila. And then ito yung initial number of total registered voters per province. Initial lang because right now we're doing yung on-site verification ng database ng COMELEC, and at the same time the preparation of our project of precincts. So for Davao City, umabot tayo ng 1,07,784. That's for the 3rd district. So 1 million tayo lahat ng registered voters dito for Davao City. And then for Davao del Sur, 464,812. Ano yan siya? Sa lahat ng municipalities ng Davao del Sur. Of course, Davao del Norte, medyo malaki-laki ang Davao del Norte, 721,737. And Davao de Oro, 551,671. And Davao Oriental, 435,188, and Davao Occidental is 205,737. So ito yung lahat ng total number of registered voters natin ngayon so far, right after the recently concluded continuing voters registration. Ito yung some of our pictures during our activities, including doon sa satellite registration, and at the same time, voter education. Okay, satellite registration conducted. Ito yung number of satellite registration conducted for the entire Region 11 for the 7 months na voter registration. For the 1st district, meron silang 54 na satellite registration conducted. 2nd district, 70. 3rd district, ito 3rd district talaga, medyo malaki ito because they have 82 barangays. So 79, nakakonduct sila ng 79 satellite registration. Yung satellite registration natin, it's not only for the barangays, we also included it yung mga schools and malls. And then for Davao del Sur, they conducted 176 satellite registrations. Davao del Norte, 293. Davao de Oro, 181. Davao Oriental, 153. And Davao Occidental, 72. And a total of 1,078 number of satellite registrations conducted. Itong satellite registrations, medyo extensive na ito. Kasi sa kadami-dami ng mga lugar dito, sinali namin doon yung mga far-flung, yung mga remote barangays ng ating mga municipalities. Okay? Also, we conducted voters education. Marami ito sa mga schools and at the same time sa mga barangays. Sa mga schools, pinili namin yung malalaking universities like Ateneo de Davao. We also conducted doon sa mga senior high schools para to encourage and engage the senior high para magparehistro and at the same time, makaboto sila come May 2025 national and local elections. And then, of course, the filing of the certificates of candidacy. Ito medyo bibo ito the last October 1 to 8. Kasi may balita na meron daw magwi-withdraw and magfa-file ng candidacy doon sa taas. May mga swapping whatever. So ito medyo bibo. Lahat ng camera, I think, nakatutok sa Davao City. There was na tinawagan kami doon sa taas kung meron bang nag-withdraw. Wala talaga. No changes at all. Lahat na nag-file, so far doon that time, lahat na nag-file, wala pang nag-withdraw. But I think now, meron ng paisa-isa na nag-withdraw. But yun sa mga municipalities yun. Okay? So ito yung 1,437 total number of COCs filed for entire region. And we would like to also highlight na when we submitted, ito yung mga field officials natin na nag-submit ng COCs doon sa Manila. And doon, pag-submit nila, very organized, yung submission natin, kompleto lahat, walang mali, and congratulations sa ating mga field officials na nag-submit doon. Kasi naka sila doon na maganda daw ang submission ng Region 11. Ito yung yung sa filing ng Certificates of Candidacy ng data, Davao City, and then we also have Davao del Sur. Ito yung number. Davao del Norte, flash na lang natin ha. And Davao de Oro, and last is meron pang Davao Oriental, and last is Davao Occidental. Okay? And then ito, siningit namin ito because this is very, very important. Ito yung guidelines on the use of social media, artificial intelligence, and internet technology for digital election campaign. So kasi ngayon, it's not only yung house-to-house na campaigning or yung sa kalsada, meron na din sa social media. Ito na yung uso ngayon. And the use of artificial intelligence. Okay. Under COMELEC Resolution Number 11064, this resolution outlines the regulations, prohibition, and punishment for the use of social media, artificial intelligence, and internet technology for digital election campaign for the 2025 national and local elections. I guess this is a new innovation on the part of COMELEC. Na din ng COMELEC yung importance ng social media campaign and the use of internet in campaigning. May task force tayo dito, yung Task Force KKK sa halalan, Truth, Honesty, and Justice in Election, led by the Education and Information Department and of course the Law Department. Ito yung procedure for the registration. Ito, paano lang namin on how to register their social media accounts. Of course, all official social media accounts, websites, podcasts, blogs, and other online and internet-based campaign platforms used to promote election or defeat of a candidate must be registered with the Education and Information Department of COMELEC to make it official. Okay? And then, the registration must be completed until December 13, 2024. So may deadline tayo for the registration. Okay? Now, we have to remember these very, very important dates. January 12 will be the start of our election period. Election period, doon na mag-start yung gun ban. Okay? Doon na mag-start yung prohibition of the transfer of government employees. So, starting January 12 will be the start of the election period. And then Feb 11 to May 10 will be the campaign period for national positions like the senators and party list. And for March 28 until May 10, campaign period naman ito sa local positions. Okay? Now, who may submit registration forms? Only candidates or their authorized representatives or even anybody, they can submit their registration sa sa yung social media or internet-based campaign activities, which is done online. Ito yung mga requirements. Of course, duly accomplished registration form, notarized authorization if registration shall be submitted by an authorized representative, and so on. So these are the requirements. Photocopy of one valid government ID. So ito na yung QR code for the registration. Meron tayong for senatorial candidate and meron din tayong for local candidate. So yan na lang, doon na lang sila mag-access sa QR code wherein they could submit their application online. Failure to register, very, very important. So what happens now if they fail to register their social media accounts, their internet-based websites? Okay? Ano sila? Wait. Balik natin. The concerned candidate, political party, coalition, party list, organization, and their respective social media campaign managers and the covered private individuals or entities shall then be required to explain why they failed to register. Okay? Ipa-require lang naman sila to explain, and then of course, tatanggalin yung website or yung SOCMED na hindi registered with our Education and Information Department. And of course, removal, and at the same time, meron yang kaakibat na of course the filing of cases whatever if it's illegal. Okay? So, ito yung requirement na lahat ng mga ipakita sa social media, kailangan may transparency and disclosure requirements. Doon sa materials mismo, merong mga watermarks doon na ilagay or para makita doon, mga disclosure statements or transparency statements, ipakita doon mismo sa yung yung the material na ipipresent nila sa social media or gagamitin nila sa social media. So, eto yon lahat. Visual media, audio-visual media, or animated content. Meron din, kung audio lang, meron din kailangan din may transparency or disclosure statement. Candidates or parties who fail to meet these requirements could face complaints and request for content removal. Reminders, of course. November 8, 2024 is the last day to file a request for correction of clerical or typographical error. On the part of candidates, I guess ano naman siguro ngayon on the website, wala pa. But they have to check the names that will appear on the face of the official ballots. And if they have yung mga reklamo doon sa mga typographical errors, they could file up to November 8 yung correction ng typo error. Typo error only typo error. And then the start of election period is of course January 12 next year, 2025. The posting of the certified list of voters will be Feb 11. And then we also have, of course, the campaign period for local officials. Local positions is March 28. For national positions, Feb 11. And of course, election day is May 12, 2025. And I guess that would be all for our very, very short presentation.
Okay, salamat Attorney Jay sa very informative na presentation, preparation para sa nalalapit na halalan yung ating social media. This is the first time, kasi dati free for all yung social media, nag-aaway ng mga tao dun sa social media, ngayon parang may regulation na. So, kasama natin with RD Michael and ARD Jay, ating kasama, we are joined by Attorney Emily D. Kamaganakan, Provincial Election Supervisor, Davao Oriental. Attorney Jennifer P. Ancla, Provincial Election Supervisor, Davao de Oro. And Regional Election Attorney, classmate ko to sa law school, si Attorney Fatima Irene T. Adin. So bago atalakay with our media friends, kasama dito na ito sila, they are also our resource person. I would like to ask yung tatlo nating bagong guests within the context sa kanilang trabaho, kamusta yung preparation sa halalan, sa build up sa halalan. Let's start with Ma'am Jennifer of Davao de Oro.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir, and good morning sa tanang viewers this morning. As for Davao de Oro, all our election officers and also included na dali ang Office of the Provincial Election Supervisor sa Davao de Oro is making ready for May 12, 2025. Of course, na-mention na kaganina ni Red Mike and Red Gay ang mga series of activities that we did in preparation for the May 12, 2025 elections, katong registration, and of course, filing of COC, and we delivered the COCs also sa Manila, and we had our POP verification, and everything went well. Kaluoy sa Ginoo. And as of the moment, we're just waiting for further directives coming from our higher offices with respect to the further preparations for the midterm elections next year.
Sige, si Regional Elections Supervisor. Election Attorney.
Good morning and magandang umaga sa lahat ng mga nanonood sa atin ngayong umaga. Being the regional election attorney, I am not very much involved in the preparation sa mga field natin considering that I am seated doon sa Office of the Regional Election Director. Mainly, I am handling all the cases filed sa region natin. And one of the tasks or functions na naibigay sa atin is that there are several agencies, government agencies or otherwise, na gustong magpakandak ng lecture as to what's going to happen sa NLE, what are the do's and the don'ts. So ito po yung mga pinagbibigyan natin, binibisita natin at nagkakandak po tayo ng mga education sa kanila with regards to what will happen with the national and local elections. But basically, if you have any concerns with the cases, lahat po ng cases na fina-file or complaint na fina-file sa atin sa region, yun po yung mga binibigyan natin ng tuon din sa regional office.
Siguro mag-busy ka with Resolution 11064, yung social media.
I am waiting for all the complaints that will be lodged before our office. So far, wala pa naman pong reklamo na na-file dito sa ating opisina sa region with regards to the upcoming NLE next year. Wala pa po sa ngayon. Kung meron man po, siguro meron tayong mga petitions for disqualifications or to declare an aspirant as a nuisance candidate. Pero ito pong lahat na ito is sa taas po muna ifa-file. Wala pa pong bumababa sa atin sa regional level.
Okay. Attorney Emily D. Maganatan, Provincial Election Supervisor, Davao Oriental.
Yes. Good morning, everyone. For Davao Oriental, same as mentioned by Director Mike, Ma'am Ared Gay, and Director Jen, we have been doing and preparing all the activities that we are mandated to do in preparation for the May 12, 2025 national and local elections. Sa ngayon po, lahat ng 11 election officers po natin sa Davao Oriental as well as the Office of the Provincial Election Supervisor are busy po in the continuing voters education and information campaign, information dissemination, especially this COMELEC Resolution 11064 about the registration of social media accounts. So, by far, yung pong mga like assemblies, barangay assemblies or meetings na meron po na kinakandak po sa mga munisipyo, mga barangays po, ay invited naman po yung mga election officers natin and nag-share naman po sila ng mga updates on the several COMELEC resolutions pertaining po sa ating election ngayon pong 2025. So, again, sa ngayon, we are waiting for further directive, memorandum, the things that we have to do next after the successful conduct of the on-site POP verification in our province. Thank you.
Okay, narito ang paunang mga tanong para sa ating mga resource persons. No? Yung Attorney Gay, you discuss kanina no, yung our Resolution 11064. I remember a previous press cons or kapihan before na nagtanong ako na if na may monitoring ba tayo sa mga social media pages. Napakarami kasi mga kandidato, and aside from that, yung mga I think branch out yung mga like mga volunteer groups, they also have their mga social media pages.
Okay, ngayon, ito na yung innovation ng COMELEC. To monitor ng mga social media accounts, yung mga blogs, yung mga vlogs, yung gamit ng artificial intelligence, ang ginawa ng COMELEC is they require the candidates or their authorized representatives or anybody, okay, conducting campaign to register their accounts with the Information and Education Department para ma-monitor. Now, yung hindi na-register at nakita, of course, tatawagan yan at ipapatanggal or ipa-explain sa kanila bakit hindi sila or they fail to register. Yung deadline naman is until December 13 pa. Okay? So meron pa silang time to register right now. Kasi if they're going to conduct, of course, online election campaign, yung way ng COMELEC to monitor everything is through the registration of their special website accounts para sa campaigning.
May mga grupo pong hindi sumasang-ayon sa resolution, lalo na sa Article 5 about fake news. Kasi sa nababasa po namin, napaka-broad daw po ng definition ng fake news doon sa resolution, at sabi nila labag daw ito sa freedom of expression. Anong masasabi natin dito sa Resolution 5?
Okay. Ito kasi fake news, this is not new to us eh. Ang fake news has been there, especially ngayon na yung may free flow information na tayo through internet, through the social media. So lahat ng information hindi natin mapifilter eh. It's a very broad, and yun nga, how do we identify if it's fake? Ang hindi fake talaga, it should be coming from the specific, like us, government agency, yung pinapalabas namin na whatever data or whatever information na galing talaga sa amin is definitely not fake. Now, as to other information outside, of course, that we could not, like if it's about elections, of course, the very first thing that you should ask is, of course, COMELEC. Yung pag-filter ng fake news, hindi namin, very, very broad in definition of fake news. Kaya, just to be sure na if you have any questions, like if it's about elections, you, of course, you ask COMELEC. So, I guess, yun na yun siguro.
Yes, isa po ito sa mga pangunahing legal challenge na pinukol sa amin nung nilabas itong resolution number 064, because this is in a way, sabi ng ibang grupo, abridging the freedom of speech. May kanya-kanya po tayong school of thoughts about it, at para po sa kaalaman ng ating mga kababayan, ito po'y masusing pinag-aralan ng Commission on Elections in coordination with other media groups nung bago ipinalabas ang eleksyon. Dapat lahat, gaya ng nabanggit ko kanina, ay may bigyan ng pantay-pantay na pagkakataon na maisiwalat, maibahagi sa mga stockholders ang kanilang plataforma sa gobyerno. At inaasahan natin sila na magsasabi ng totoo at maiwasan itong fake news. Kaya nga po, pumapasok dito yung regulatory function ng Commission through this resolution. Everyone should register their media platforms so that we'll be able to know that these people, of course, pag may sasabihin sila na maaring taliwas sa iba, pwede nating mabigyan ng sanction, mabigyan natin ng pansin kung may katotohanan yung mga nasasabi or naisasiwalat through social media. Ang mahirap kasi rito is pag hindi sila ayaw nilang pumasok, no? Ayaw nilang pumasok, ayaw nilang magparehistro. Kaya nga po, while we recognize their right to question this, sana mabigyan muna kami ng pagkakataon sa Commission on Elections. Dahil kami, sa COMELEC, wala naman po kaming hangarin, kundi magkaroon ng isang maayos, malaya, makatarungan, makatutuong eleksyon para sa isang bagong Pilipinas.
Okay, habol to Attorney Fatima because you're the election attorney. Ano po yung ang perspective mo dito sa Article 5 ng use of fake news ng definition?
Unang-una po kasi, i-define natin kung ano yung fake news. Di ba po? So, kagaya nga po ng nabanggit ni Ared at saka ni Red, masyado po kasing broad ang definition ng fake news. Kaya po tayo merong COMELEC Resolution 11064 is that, as mentioned, para ma-regulate po kung ano po yung gustong ipahayag ng ating mga aspirants para sa darating na eleksyon. So, if we are just going to let everybody do whatever they want to do without such regulation, baka kung ano-ano yung mga tamaan. Baka hindi na rin po maganda yung mga mai-display nila. Kaya nga po meron tayong 11064 is that because we wanted to see also if our aspirants can, as simple as mag-follow lang kung ano yung sinasabi ng COMELEC, na gawin ninyo kapag nangangampakan niya kayo on social media, edi what do you call that? You abide by it. You follow the rules. So, as simple as following COMELEC Resolution 1164 and doing things that are not allowed or prohibited as per the resolution, then what kind of an example as an aspirant are you going to be? Or a candidate? What kind of an example you will be for the others? And most especially, if you will be elected to the office, if you cannot follow a simple resolution, doon pa nga lang sa pangangampanya, what will you become? Kapag nakaupo ka na, edi considering na nakalusot ka sa propaganda mo in relation to fake news and all, baka pagdating mo sa posisyon, you will do the same thing also. So anyway, we have 11064 for us to be able to regulate kung ano yung mga advertisements or platforms maybe or paano nila ipapahayag sa mga botante ang mga platforms nila when they become the winner pag sila ang nanalo doon sa election. Anyhow, kaya nga na sinasabi natin is that ang una namang gagawin ni COMELEC is that ipapa-explain ka muna. And then, if hindi naman maganda ang justification mo at hindi mo pa rin tinuloy or finalo yung process, then you will be out to take down. And then later, pag merong complaint na na-file against you, di doon na tayo magkikita-kita sa huli. So, tingnan natin kung ano ang mangyayari. Let's just follow the rules. It's just a simple reminders from the COMELEC. You just follow the rules. Let's follow the resolutions and all the regulations provided.
At isang assurance dito, kami po sa COMELEC ay magkakaroon ng fact-checking kung ano po yung sasabihin. Ano po yung mga na ilalabas sa social media platform. Hindi lang po ito dahil papalagay namin fake news na. We will afford you due process. Yan yung pinaka-basic or elementary requirement natin na nasasaad sa ating Constitution.
Okay, para sa ating dalawang provincial election supervisors, kay Attorney Jennifer and Attorney Emily, may mga areas of concern po ba tayo or sa ating sa whole, no? Dito sa region or sa inyong provinces for the midterm elections?
Region-wide, wala pa po tayong na-identify. I have yet to confer with my counterpart, Regional Director of the PNP. I think General Rosete. I have not paid my courtesy visit to him and also to the Armed Forces of the Philippines. In due time, we will attend to it. Meron pa po kaming inaasikasong ibang mga bagay in connection with our preparation for the forthcoming 2025 midterm elections.
Okay, nasabi mo, nakwento mo, RD Michael, no, na naging sentro ng Region 11 ng media during nung filing. At hanggang ngayon, naging sentro tayo na marami tayong media, kaibigan sa media, nakatutok sa ating programa. We have from online and also nandito din sila. We have from PNA Davao, Super Radio, Brigada, Kadangpan, Mindanao Times, Among Media, DXFF, Katropa, UNTV, GMA, PTV, Tribune, and Radyo Pilipinas. At ngayon, bigyan natin panahon mga katanungan mula sa ilan nating mga media partners. We'll start with from BNA, Che Palicte.
Good morning. Sir, you have mentioned kanina po with regards to the voting machine, you said it is upgraded. Can we expect that there's no glitch when the election comes?
Yes, we can assure you that for the information of everyone, this is my third elections in Region 11, 2019, 2022, and generally, wala po tayong glitch. No? Hindi po maiwasan na magkakaroon ng problema, pero yun po hindi nakabalam sa maagang pagproklama ng lahat ng mga kandidato dito sa Region 11.
Sir, ano po yung kaibahan ng machine? You said it is upgraded. So ano po yung kaibahan from the
Ito,
previous?
kuha na lang ito, general term. Dati-rate, nalalaman natin kung sino yung binoboto natin by looking at the screen of the automated counting machine. Ngayon, iba. Magpiprint po sila ng ating makina at doon makikita nyo mismo kung sinong binoto nyong mga senators, congressmen, governor, city mayor, and the like. So, yan po yung bagay. And after nyan, iiwan po natin yan sa members of the electoral boards. So sa ganung pagkakataon, madodouble check natin. Hindi lang by mere looking at the screen, but also you have the hard copy.
At Ma'am Gay, Ma'am, you have mentioned kanina po with regards to the elective positions na na-fill in ngayon. Ma'am, meron din po ba tayong data as to sino yung mga unopposed? Meron ba tayong data kung ilan yung unopposed natin in Region 11?
Okay, yung unopposed, wala tayo ngayon dito. But I guess, sa mga opisina natin, meron po. Oo.
Last na lang po, to the regional election supervisors. Ma'am, when an hotspot was identified, ano po yung preparations yung ginagawa natin?
Thank you, Che, for that question again. Pagka may hotspot, pinapaigting po natin yung ating security preparation. At kung kinakailangan, dagdagan natin ang pwersa ng ating mga kapulisan at kasundaluhan. In my experience from 2019, 2022 elections, and I hope so, 2025, sana hindi na tayo umabot sa ganong pagkakataon. Ano? Alam po naman natin na napaka-law abiding ng ating mga Region 11 stakeholders.
Okay, next si Carlo Dolier, Kadangpan. Nag-livestream din siya. Ayan na, Kadangpan sa Bagong Pilipinas. Kung meron tayong kapiyan sa Bagong Pilipinas. Carlo?
Right. Good morning to our distinguished guests, especially to our ever powerful moderator, Sir Rudolph Alama. I would just like to ask to either our Attorney Gay or to sa Regional ED in regards for clarification lang po in regards sa campaign platforms to online. You mentioned about podcasts. So, does it impose din sa mga media na may within the side of the candidate na kanilang i-cover for every slate. For clarification po, what is it?
Yung coverage ng media.
Yes.
I guess hindi. Kasi ang kasali lang doon sa i-register is yung platform na ginagamit ng candidate or their authorized representative. Pero pag media, syempre, fair man kayo, mag-i-invite kayo, di ba? Oo. So, iba yon.
Carlo, meron tayong ibang sistema dyan. Alam na natin ito lahat. You have to go to our office, seek for media accreditation, so that we'll be able to isalang ba kung ilan kayo, sino-sino kayo na nandiyan para hindi lang para sa COMELEC, kundi para sa taong bayan. Okay? So, please come to our office, come to see us and have your media outfits accredited.
So, okay. Another question. So, for clarification then within the aspects of yung na to na filing sa manaman to ang filing, but what will be the implication if ever kay gisalang man god within sa COC filing for finality bagyan niyo for the entire period once na nasala naman tanan and they will declare nuisance candidate kung if any of them na ay for confusion of the voters kung saan nila.
Kung inyong nasagap sa balita, as early as last week, nasalang na po yung mga candidates for Senate. So, marami pong na-declare doon na nuisance candidate. But so far as sa Region 11 is concerned, I think halos wala kaming ganung kaso. Lahat po ng mga tumakbo ay hindi po napaloob doon sa tinatawag nilang nuisance candidates. Wala kami to our recollection because we required all our election officers to submit to us any update on that regard.
That's na lang on my end. Any of you can answer within sa COMELEC guidelines for their campaign materials. Diya sa pila ang limit po for the size of the poster and tarpaulins. I know it's a frequently asked question, but then again, kindly elaborate on pila ang limit sa size, sa tarpaulin, sa sticker, sa pamphlets, o sa posters.
I guess with yung tarp, yung 2x3 tayo. The same. 2x3. Yung decals, yung materials, I think yung size ng bond paper.
Thank you.
Okay, next si Armando, Radyo Pilipinas.
To Attorney Mike Abas. Sir, kanina nabanggit niyo po with regards po doon sa fact-checking po na parang doon sa mga social media platforms po ng ating mga kakandidato or mga kandidato na during the campaign period. Sir, may ugnayan po ba kayo with the platforms po like Facebook, Google, para automatic ma-flag po yung mga natin if ever na may fake news po na napopost?
Armando, sorry. Armando, kanina pala yung si Carlo. Okay? Armando, we are not quite freebie about it. We are just here to implement the resolution. But I think, gaya na nabanggit ko kanina, itong bagay na ito, lumabas ito hindi lang dahil sa biglaan. So, maaaring pinag-aralan ito at alam ko, kami mismo gagawa ng fact-checking at bibigyan namin ng opportunity ang bawat involved parties na magkaroon ng due process. Okay? So, bibigyan natin sila ng pagkakaroon na magpaliwanag at gaya nun, may nabanggit sa 11.064 na yung takedown is maaaring maaaring na pag-usapan na nila yan sa main office, no? In coordination with those social media or outlets.
So paano po yung mechanism natin, sir, to flag this fake news?
Actually, we don't have details about it. Okay, maybe another time to discuss it thoroughly.
So, if ever ba na may fake news man tapos hindi siya ma-flag, pwede pa rin po ba siya makasuhan for violating the rights?
Yeah, I will give them all the opportunities to answer. If should we find any post or like manner na malicious, etc., or we can categorize it as a one falling under the category of fake news.
For local positions po ba, sir, or for local candidates, may monitoring po ba gagawin ng mga local communities natin?
Yes. Buhay na buhay po yung ating ang ating mga opisina, no? Mayroon po tayong municipal, city, provincial, and regional coordinating centers.
Pero yung pag-file ng kaso, sa kailangan pa ng complainant or may motopropyo power?
We will look at it when it comes to us. We may file it motu proprio or we will require any interested parties to file a case.
So, kung walang magpa-file tapos merong mga violations or motopropyo,
Pwede kami mag-initiate. At ito yung pinaka-importante dito, i-observe natin yung due process.
kay Attorney Fatima, ma'am, sinabi niyo kanina is your office is handling the filing of cases. Paano po yung yung parang sistema po nito if ever na walang mapapile ng case?
Kagaya nga ng sinabi ng director natin, Sir Armando, is that the COMELEC can file motu proprio cases against all the aspirants that are in violation of 11064. But then, pag meron po tayong case, meron tayong complainant, they can either, I'm assuming, no? Meron tayong task force, it's either the KKK, pwede nilang i-file directly sa regional office, sa OEO, sa OPES, or maybe they can go directly doon sa law department. So, lahat ng avenues na ito pwede.
So, walang hierarchy po?
Walang hierarchy po. It's just that what will happen is that if it is filed doon po sa national, if the national will give it back to us sa ORED, sa regional office, magkakaroon po tayo ng memorandum directing the ORED or the Office of the Regional Election Director through the Regional Election Attorney na mag-conduct ng investigation. Take note po, before we can file, recommendatory po tayo dito sa baba. Tayo po yung gumagawa ng investigation. Tayo po yung nagpapatawag ng clarificatory hearings. We are giving all the parties opportunity to explain bakit final, bakit hindi, ano ang defenses nila. And then, we will be the one to make a recommendation as to how we would want it or how we saw it that it should be resolved. Ang final say pa rin po talaga is nandoon sa taas. Yes po.
Sana po, Attorney Fatima, because hindi po ito na-clarify last barangay election natin. Yung mga nahuli ninyo or yung in-inspection nyo during the election day, yung may mga sample ballots. This 2025, ano po yung mechanism natin? Ano po yung assurance na lahat ng mga lumabag doon, di ba pinagpapawal na during poll day na mamigay ng sample ballots? Ano po yung assurance po na talagang makakasuhan yung mga involved doon, especially yung mga kandidato?
Yun pong mga, are we talking about yung nangyari nung BSKE, yung mga marami tayong election? Actually, these are election offenses. These are election offenses na pwede pong merong private complainant. So yung mga private complainants po natin, they will file an election offense case. Doon po yan papunta sa taas. And then from sa taas, bababa po yan again sa atin, sa ORED. And then we will conduct the preliminary investigation. And then, ang problema po natin is that kung wala po complainant, medyo mahihirapan po kami sa COMELEC na mag-file ng case because it is an election offense. Parang medyo nahihirapan naman ang COMELEC kung kami mismo ang magpa-file motu proprio ng election offense case against the aspiring candidate. So, kasi yung personal knowledge, mahihirapan po kaming i-file, especially to prosecute it in the courts because census cases, pag nagkaroon po tayo ng information to be filed in court, kami po yung prosecution. So, mahirap din po na kami ang prosecution at the same time, kami po yung witness ng prosecution. So, we really need private complainants or complainants in order to file election offenses cases.
Okay, sunod si Gio, Mindanao Times. You can minimize the question because may 5 minutes na lang.
Yes po. One question lang kay Attorney Gay. Ma'am, you mentioned yung the use of AI. Kumusta na po yung utilization of AI? Like how we embrace it ba? Is it safe to use it when it comes to voting and registration?
Eto, ganito yon. Kasi, actually, yung 11064 is just, yung ano lang doon, ng 1164 is, kung may AI sila, gumagamit sila ng AI, or they are using SOCMED or internet in their campaigning, all they have to do is yung i-register nila. Procedure lang yun for registration. Now, as a definition, what is AI, kung paano gamitin, yun, hindi naka-define doon sa sa resolution eh. Ang resolution is only on the mechanics on how to register their accounts with the Education and Information Department.
Okay. And clarify lang, ma'am, is this also in line with the voters' education with the use of AI?
Yeah, I think so. Yes. Kasi medyo marami nang gumagamit ng AI, no? And it's not new anymore. Although, of course, the idea of using AI for election campaigning is new. Parang bago talaga. Before, Facebook lang tayo. Pero ngayon, boses, yung mukha, AI na ang gamit. But, yun nga, the 1164 is not intended really na yung procedure ng how to prosecute or sinong nagkamali doon. Ang 1164 is merely on the procedure for the registration, yung requirements ng registration. But as to the nitty details, wala doon sa sa 11064.
Thank you.
Okay, si Julius Pacot ng Brigada.
Hello sir, good morning. Sir, ask ko lang po, kailan mag-uumpisa yung information natin sa voting counting machine po sa mga barangay at sa region po?
Okay. Kasi we will be going on the 3rd week sa Manila to attend National Convention. And from there, of course, ititrain lahat ng election officers and election supervisors, including the REA, REDS, and REDS, on the use of the new automated counting machine. And right after that, of course, ibababa nila lahat ng machines dito, 1 per municipality, 1 per city, for the conduct of massive demo on the use of the machine. So starting siguro mga 4th week of November until end of January, we will be conducting ACM demo, yung automated counting machine demo sa schools, sa malls, sa barangays, even in the farthest barangays, dadalhin natin ang machine just to demonstrate kung paano gagamitin ang bagong makina. But then again, since we started last 2010, yung makina natin, yung paggamit is just the same. We shade and then we feed it sa machine. But the machine lang, iba-iba yung kasi in the previous election, medyo mahina yung scanning niya. But for now, paspas siya. Paspas na ang scanning sa machine. And yun nga, sabi ni Sir, yung bagong innovation ng makina is i-print yung parang resibo. Although we have that previously kasi maliit lang yung resibo. Ngayon, medyo malaki na ang resibo at makita natin dito and makompare natin kung ano talaga or sino talaga yung binoto natin.
On that note, we will allot half day of our time, no? With you, media people. Sabi ni Rodolph kanina, more than 100 media practitioners kayo throughout Region 11. Sana through your organization, we'll get the name of your president, susulat kami, at kayo mismo, magde-demonstrate kami sa inyo. Libre merienda. Okay? Courtesy of COMELEC Assistant Regional Director. Masyado tayong seryoso. Okay? Bibigyan namin kayo ng time. Walang ibang kahalo. Media people lang.
Sir, balikan ko lang yung sa social media na registration. December 13 yung deadline, sir, no?
And I would like to mention this, no? Itong resolution na ito was not meant to abridge the freedom of expression, but merely to regulate. Alam nyo naman, bigyan nyo lang kami ng pagkakataon na masubukan ito. Of course, we know there's a, sabi nila, birth pain, no? Rodolph, halos lahat ng aking mga opisyalis, puro mga women power. So alam na alam nito, may birth pain dito. At ang pinakaunang kinakailangan namin is yung pangunawa ng lahat ng mga stakeholders. Subukan muna natin ang proseso. At mismo kung alam namin na kaming mali on regional level, kami na mismo ang magsasabi na itong mga bagay na ito falls within the ambit of your freedom of speech.
Sir, pwede yung pag-i-ulit kung hindi makapag-register ng social media, sir, ano yung mangyayari ng
Of course, we will notify these people. Okay? Itong registration would pertain only to the candidates, not to you. Kasi kayo, from media, you may say, this one. Ang presumption namin dyan, regular yan. Hindi yan fake news. Unless we could see on its face na sasabihin ng iba, base sa sinabi ng iba na ikikiri ninyo na itong lugar na ito hindi magkakaroon ng eleksyon dahil nga tapos ng eleksyon dyan. So certainly, we will do something to correct that misinformation. Not right away. We will condemn anybody. We will afford you the basic requirement of due process under our Constitution. So yun lang, hinihingi natin sa ating mga kasamahan sa media. You know, I have a good working relationship with media people in Region 12, particularly in Jensen. Mga amigo ko sila tanan. Okay? Meron din kaming ganito, laging pagsasalo-salo rito. Lagi kong pinapakiusapan, Bay, o ma'am, tulungan nyo naman kami. Bigyan nyo kami ng chance na ipakita sa inyo kung ano yung tama na ginagawa namin. At kung may mali kami, please let me know first. And after that, it's up to you to divulge it to the public. Okay? Siyempre, alam natin yung limitations natin. Kaya nga sa speech ko kanina, marami pa kaming gagawin para ma-ensure ang isang maayos, makatotohanan, makatotoo, peaceful, orderly elections dito sa Region 11. At ito, hindi namin ito kaya na kung kami lang. Kailangan namin kayo. Okay? Kailangan namin kayo.
Salamat, sir.
Okay, si si Ravi of PIA.
Hello, sir. Just want to ask, who are considered qualified voters for absentee voting, and what are the eligibility or criteria and the procedural requirements for requesting an absentee voter?
Ito yung sa local absentee voting. Yung local absentee voting, ginagrant yan siya sa mga media practitioners or government employees who will be displaced or will be serving during the national and local elections. So, meron tayong dyan as to when mag-submit ng letter of intent, mag-signify na mag-participate in the local absentee voting. Hindi automatic ha. You have to apply pa para malaman namin na government employee ka, like the members of the PNP, AFP, or even media practitioners na instead of you are registered here in Davao City pero doon ka sa malayo ma-assign, so might as well file your application with us and then isisubmit namin doon sa taas for media practitioners, but for PNP, AFP, doon sila sa agency nila. Kasi yung agency nila ang magko-conduct ng election eh. And please take note that for local absentee voting, only national candidates ang pwede iboto. Wala tayong local possessions na pwede iboto.
When would that
For information of everyone, I'm quite liberal about it. Okay? Just file and then immediately we'll approve it and you may proceed to your respective polling places. Mabigyan kayo ng priority. And not only, you will vote for national positions. Bibigyan namin kayo ng preference. Gaya ng mga teachers na pwede silang pumunta sa kanilang respective precincts to vote not only for national but for local. Okay? We will have a working procedure on that. Okay?
Okay, maraming salamat sa ating mga media partners. Bago tayo magtapos sa episode ngayon ng Kapihan sa Bagong Pilipinas, ating pakinggan muli ang Regional Director ng COMELEC, Attorney Michael Abbas, para sa kanyang closing statement.
Rudolph, maraming salamat sa ating mga kapatid sa media. Maraming salamat sa pagkakataon na ito. We really need your help. Help us, please, to disseminate lahat po ng mga ginagawa namin para sa ikakaayos ng ating 2025 midterm elections. Itong election na ito ang siyang magdidefine ng isang maganda at bagong Pilipinas. Maraming salamat po.
Maraming salamat sa ating mga opisyal sa inyong presensya at paghatid ng mahalaga, wasto at napapanahong impormasyon sa ating publiko kay COMELEC 11 Regional Director Attorney Michael Abbas, kay COMELEC 11 ARD Attorney Gay Enumerables, sa ating mga provincial at district election officers si Attorney Emily and Attorney Jennifer, and also sa Regional Election Attorney si Attorney Fatima. Daghang salamat. Mahalaga sa pag-unlad ng ating bayan ay ang makapagluklok tayo ng mga lideres sa pamamagitan ng isang malaya at makabagong halalan. Naway sa pagdating ng eleksyon sa taong 2025, tayo po ay lumabas sa ating mga kabahayan at pumunta sa ating nakatalaga presinto at bumoto dahil ang isang boto natin ang magpapasiya sa kinabukasan ng ating bansa at ng ating mga anak. Again, sa ating mga media partners on-site and online, sa Department of Information and Communications Technology Region 11, sa pagsisiguro ng ating Wi-Fi connection. Maraming salamat po. To our production team, ang Lower Studio para sa gagamitan pang production live stream, and of course, our host, NCCC VP, daghang kayo salamat. Sa ngalan ng aming Presidential Communications Office Secretary Cesar Chavez, ang aming PIA Director General Catherine Chloe De Castro, PIA 11 Regional Director Rene Calvayo, sa buong pwersa ng PIA 11, ito po si Rudolph Alama. Magandang araw at ating itaguyod ang bagong Pilipinas, ang Pingka Davao.